All right, Luke, I'm going to start. Hello and welcome to the Scratching Post, where we discuss all things related to the greatest team of all, the Geelong Footy Club. My name is Brian Coppock, and unfortunately my colleague Luke Young, he also bleeds blue and white, is under the weather and can't join me. So get well soon, mate. We'll see you on the podcast real soon. Today I'm going to talk about last week's game and preview the big game down at Cadinia Park against the Kangaroos and give my tip for the encounter. But first off, let's talk about our magic win against the Suns. Now, first off, the back line. Now, it continues its brilliant collective season, restricting the Suns to only 5 goals. They now lay claim to being the best back line after conceding the least amount of points so far this season. Blitzarves was again superb. He played on the $1 million man Tom Lynch and restricted the Stars' influence by playing in front and running off at every opportunity. Tom Stewart was again fantastic, and the AFL competition is starting to notice. He's been nominated by the AFL website as an All-Australian, so he's having a superb season, and again, he was brilliant. His aerial dominance and run-off half-back are first class. He finished the game with a disposal efficiency above 90%, which is absolutely elite. Tui, he provided excellent rebounding out of the back half and was hitting targets and creating space for our dominant midfield. Henry, Kolodajny, Buse and Black, they all contributed and repelled attack after attack and all played serviceable games. Now the midfield, it dominated a game. And we've been expecting this all season, and against the Suns, it finally came into fruition. Mitch Duncan led the way in the first half with his attack off the back of the stoppages proving unstoppable. Gary Ablett returned to his best against his old club, providing the polish up forward and kicked 3 goals. Cunico is starting to show why the Cats have had such high expectations of him. His agility and poise, evident on the forward flank, evading 2 Suns defenders and pinpointing Kelly at the top of the goal square, was probably his highlight of the game. It was absolutely brilliant. Danger, Kelly, Menengola and the skipper were all at their best as the Cats won the clearances and inserted its superiority around the ground. It was a classy effort both on the inside and on the out. And finally, our forwards. It was a great return for Lincoln McCarthy to the Cats, and was highly welcomed. If not for some wayward kicking, he could have finished with 5 goals. He provided a link between the midfield and forward line and used the ball pretty well. His highlight being the chase down of May in the forward line, earning himself a free kick and shot on goal. And that's what we need, and that's what we expect from our small forwards. Hawkins had another good game, providing a target up the ground and showing his strength in the forward line, finishing with 3 goals. Jermaine Jones and Parfitt both look lively, and their pace, pressure and skills gave an edge to a dynamic forward line that we've missed in previous weeks. Stanley and Buzzer rotated through the forward and the ruck, but both had relatively quiet games. Overall, it was a dominant performance against lowly opposition. We dominated the game from around the 15-minute mark of the first quarter, never relenting, pounding the Suns into oblivion. Now, this week against the Roos will be entirely different, as they are surprisingly the AFL's most improved team. I must confess I doubted their credentials at the start of the year and tipped them to finish bottom. However, they now loom as a genuine finals threat. For the Roos, it starts in the midfield, with the return to form of their All-Australian ruckman Todd Goldstein. He'll provide headaches for us with his superb ruck work and agility around the ground. Against him, Buzzer and Stanley certainly have their hands full, and we'll need to restrict his dominance to allow our mids a chance at stoppages. Cunnington and Higgins are both in brilliant form. Now, I expect Menengola to go to one of them for periods throughout the game to negate their influence, as he has in the past against Cripps and Swallow. Danger, Duncan, Ablett and Selwood, they'll need to be at their very best again this week, and supported by Kelly, Menengola and Cunico. A full midfield team effort will be required and no passages can be afforded. Ben Brown and Jared Waite have provided countless headaches for opposition teams this year. Blitzarves will most likely take Ben Brown, and hopefully we see him perform to the standards he has set over previous weeks. Our defence will need to be clean under pressure and find targets when rebounding from the defensive 50. We can't afford to bomb it in because repeat entries will hurt us. As the Cats forward line, the Kangaroos forward line is on fire. Now expect Kolodajny to go to Waite and Stewart to go to Wood, and then Stewart to play off Wood. The backs will need to increase their tackle rate this week, as the ball will most likely be in our defensive 50 more than in previous week. Elite pressure is going to be required. Now, the Roos backline is the second best for points conceded behind the Cats. Thompson and Tarrant have both had stellar seasons and will be up for All-Australian selection. Hawkins and Buzzer will both need to maintain separation between these two to allow more one-on-one contests. And they'll need to compete at every contest and bring the ball to the ground. We can't afford to be outmarked. We need to bring the ball to ground to allow Parfitt, McCarthy, Jones and Fogarty to pick up the crumbs, as all are elite ground level players. If Hawkins and Buzzer can do this, they should have the smarts to put some goals on the board. And we need to restrict their run-up from half-back. And it'll be up to these four to pressure the ball users, looking for outlets from our forward 50. Now, if we deliver the footy to our forwards like we have last week, maintain the aerial dominance in the back line, restrict Goldstein's dominance in the ruck and provide elite pressure on the Roos ball users, the Cats should win by a comfortable 4 goals. I expect it to be tight up until about three-quarter time, and the Cats to break North Melbourne's back midway through the last. Now, thanks Geelong supporters for watching. We appreciate your feedback and encourage your participation on our Facebook page. If you have any topics you would like addressed, let us know and we'll discuss them on a show. Thanks again. See you soon. Go Cats!